in the past, but that's still something of a mystery here. Like, what will the jungler be for both sides, as Yone is removed on top of it for KBG Gaming?
Yeah, that's like 5 junglers being banned away here by KBG. KT.RY, the response will either be a Shen pickup for them, and then my guess is KBG, if Shen does not get... Oh, wow. Okay, so Aatrox getting picked up will most likely be a champion for Rattel. Oh, this is going to be a problem though, because now you are giving KBG a lot of avenues to work with, and we all know, right? Like, because the thing here is, it's more of a checkmate by KBG. If you pick up the Shen, they will pick up the Gwen in the mid lane for Unrun 9, try to counter out the double poke composition, and then have the Camille as their jungler, which is still very effective. But now, KT... Whoa! Okay. How about we play the Syndra? Because that's one way to do it. KBG will be bringing out the newest champion in Wild Rift. That will be the control mage in the mid lane in the Syndra.
Aatrox? Wait, what's going on? You have you have Ornn, you have Yuumi, you have Aatrox. Where are these champions going to go?
It's a top lane Yuumi.
Oh yeah, we're going back.
That was so long ago, though.
Yeah, we're going back to the classics.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a support Yuumi, and then the top lane will be Ornn. But yeah, but that was long. That was so long ago. Shout out to Oasis Gaming. I believe it was Asila and company that pioneered that top lane Yuumi. I think that was over a year ago. But kidding aside, I think we have a very interesting draft here. They are funneling every resource on towards their Aatrox. We all know that Aatrox has been mitigated with a lot of changes in recent times in patches, especially on the jungle role, but it doesn't matter if you have enough utility to work him or to pair him up with. Now with the Yuumi and also the Ornn serving as the backup for the Aatrox, we could see a pop-up moment.
Yeah, it's a pop-off moment, but KT.RY is dipping their toes onto danger zones already. Going into this lineup, the reason why Yuumi has been eviscerated onto the meta right now is just because it gives you so much disadvantage coming into the early game. You're pretty much fighting a 4v5 all throughout early mid-game. During the laning phase, Yuumi is pretty much nothing. It's pretty much a champion that could heal a little bit of poke damage, gives you extra sustainability, but not as much as to other champions that could go full-on team fighting.
And one way to mitigate it is to really mix things up and go for a lane swap. KT.RY is all about surprises. They're sending their Yuumi lane over to the top lane. Now this will be the very interesting matchup in the mid lane. Acrobat, by the way, their dragon laner is serving as their mid lane. Rattel will be here to absorb pressure. We saw this kind of strategy a while back, you know, against G2 Blackness, in where they picked up the Garen, have Rattel absorb the pressure in the bottom lane, and that worked wonders for them. You look at how KT.RY has done this best of one special, right? They want to out-cheese and out-strategize KBG, and it's going for a cheeky invade on the top side, but the tone is so ready to respond.
Yeah, I'm so not into this lineup with KT.RY. I have to be honest, because the thing is, these best of one games is not something that could really just go in and experiment, especially up against the best team in the season thus far, defending champions back in Season 1. And just having the Yuumi in your lineup, you need to play so further down the line. You need to buy time, and Yuumi is going to be a utility champion that could give you so much.
First blood!
Datan!
Almost. I was holding my breath there, but look at the punish that KBG is doing right now, right? Like denying XPs and gold from Rattel. Might even be able to get a kill here because the wave is crashing. He has to be careful.
Yeah, and this is a double-edged sword pretty much here for the side of KT.RY, as the first blood is secured by KBG, as you're pretty much being hindered across all fronts.
Yeah, it's this is pretty much the way to do it, right? Like if someone lane swaps, inherent disadvantages on the bottom lane for sure, because the tower is a lot squishier. And we see here a level 2 Rattel is not as tanky as he should be. A very easy dive And even using the flash, it gives information towards KBG.
Yeah.
The good thing for KT.RY is that Ornn doesn't really need a lot of gold to be effective, right? Like, and that mainly is the reason why we often see Ornn being picked up as a support. Because with little gold, you can still be very effective, especially if you are able to utilize your ultimate effectively. Now, KBG will be responding with towards the top side. They don't want the lane swap to really hinder their tempo, but KT.RY is responding with a back and forth, right? Like, we are going to chase after you. We're going to let Rattel handle the duo lane.
Yeah, it's very straightforward. Because the thing is, like, Ornn will just be Warmug's armor, and then you're pretty much good to go. You're just gonna be like Horn champions to start up team fights. But from what we have mentioned a while ago, like disadvantage on all fronts, not like this KBG. Rattel can't do anything.
Yeah. And you still have to say the UU special is still in full effect. What UU did there is to use explosive gas, making sure the Ornn will not be within the tower's vicinity. That's 2 kills to 0 in favor of KBG.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Keep Best Gaming right now is on a roll. They have 2 kills. Tower First Blood not even having the Rift Herald. This is what we are talking about. This composition relies for you to really go down the road, like further into the game we're in. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, where thus far in the current running meta that we've had, it's very accelerated. So the question is, can KT.RY reach that point where Yuumi will be of use?
Ziggs will be their main defense champion.
Yeah.
However, we all know that the best way to deal with the Ziggs is to dive him underneath the tower, which is a very easy thing to do if you have the Camille. And if you are very accelerated on the other lanes, which we all know right now, KBG, with the way they responded with the lane swap that was initiated by KT.RY, you could not ask for anything more, right? This is the way to do it. You attack on one side of the map, and now we are seeing a big gap between KG and Rattel, 1,000 gold disparity, and that will just balloon even further if this continues. KBG getting that first tower is huge.
And you have to consider, right, that KBG has locked in onto a Lucian. And Lucian is an early game champion. Having 2-0-0 already accelerates that point wherein
I know
KBG could just snowball.
Yeah, in this Rift Herald, if KBG gets this, that's as good as 3 full towers that they can get. And that's the reason why they want to challenge this.
The Ton going into Rattel with a Tech ultimatum. Still tanky
Horn.
champion despite being locked in. UU down low already. Has to use the flash over the wall to deny that bombs coming in from Acrobat.
Yeah.
And KT.RY won't be able to push back KBG.
KT.RY, that was a much needed win. Skirmish win on the Rift Herald, because again, if KBG was able to get this Rift Herald, they will be summoning it over on towards the mid lane. And we all know the health of the tower in the bottom lane, right? If you have the Rift Herald, it's most likely going to secure you all tower plates in the game. And how many times have we seen all tower plates be cleaned by one team? It's not that often that it happens, but KBG is on the way in doing so.
V2 here into the dual lane. Acrobat.
Wait, Yuyu! Did you see where Yuyu came from? Like, Yuyu...
Yeah.
Yuyu was on the base of KT.RY.
Yeah.
That's how dominant they are, at least in the early stages of this game. But good control so far, a good response by KT.RY, at least getting some gold for themselves in the mid lane by using the Rift Herald. The Dragon, though, went over to the side of KBG, which is most likely going to be their win condition, to try to mitigate the ultra scaling composition that KT.RY has right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much like early game with Lucian. Syndra's possibly going in for mid lane as well. And you still have to respect the capability that a Syndra has CC-wise. Crowd control. Syndra is also capable of dealing so much capabilities into those team fights to deny the possibility for push here by KT.RY. Mega in for the bomb, puts Iron Knight's HP down to half. True Shot Barrage will miss within small distance there.
Yuyu went for the engage, but unfortunately, that engage by Yuyu was not right on the target, and so Luna will still be A-okay. But you see the angle that KT.RY is trying to do, right? Like they kind of want to catch you off guard. Really, all those long-range ultimates from the Ziggs and from the Ezreal can surprise you in an instant. The only concern I do have is whenever you have a Yuumi, you don't really have a very big lockdown, right? Like the crowd control isn't going to be there, so it's not easy to really hit those skill shots, right? Yeah, sure, you have an Ornn that can at least put some crowd control on towards the opponent, but it's so hard to hit it, especially when you're this far behind.
Yeah, and I want to add to that point as well, because the thing is, having Ziggs, having Ezreal, and having Yuumi, this will probably be like how KT.RY will be dependent on the pokes, right?
Yeah.
They want to negate those HP bars of KBG before they start the fight, but you have to remember the KBG has Camille. They have Syndra, they have Gragas, and these three champions can start up a fight even from long range distance.
That's the way to do it, right? Like just trying to find a way to at least enter a team fight, but KBG still has the best disengage tool possible in the Gragas. We all know how good that is.
Into the flank, into the backside. As they want to start up the fight, you have Yuumi using the ultimate
finally.
as well already. He roots down the Ton. That's the first kill that KT.RY secures.
Yeah, the only question is how will KT.RY respond to this push by KBG, and it's just going to be very easy. Stasis by Acrobat, and you're looking at you trying to disengage.
Yu has to use the flash out to be able to retreat. You have Android 9 coming right
Here comes
through
Ratel.
as well. Now Daw will gain vision. This is a 4v4. But as you've mentioned, a little bit late, so KBG goes back unscathed.
Yeah, and the primary thing for KT.RY is to make sure that their tower in the middle lane does not go down. Because if it ever goes down, it's going to be very easy to infiltrate on towards the jungle of KT.RY, which is most likely going to be the downfall of the Ziggs composition that KT.RY is trying to play right now here in Infinity. Now, at least I would say it's a thumbs up because KT.RY was still able to defend the tower in the mid lane. The only concern I do have is that this is not the game Ratel is having fun with, right? Like, he was late in his rotations. He does not have the ultimate to really go for that long range engage, and that flash into the charge was a little bit, I would say, overestimation of his range.
Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic as well because from the past, KT.RY has huge dependence onto Ratel.
Yeah.
Especially with a Gwen. Ratel's pretty much a killer. But right now, it's non-existent. He had to be flexible. He had to be a team player. And that Ornn is not seeing the light of day.
Yeah, it's relying heavily on Daw and his impact on this Aatrox to really be that raid boss in team fights. Now Ratel does have access to the ultimate, can lock down Xiaoma and company. You have to be wary of those choke points because that's where they want to really start the fight.
Too far away, so the ultimate of Ratel going to be of waste. KBG has information that the Inferno Drake is now being targeted by KT.RY, but remember, they still have so much engaged tools in their vicinity, and just look at the placements or position rather of the Ton just on topside River Brush.
The more important thing for KBG is that they have the priority on the top side, right? Like they have a natural pushing wave, denying more experience, and so on from KT.RY. Xiaoma is also very fed and can really pop off at any given moment. Expect that one crowd control can really start the fight, and Yu is trying to look for an angle.
Oh, body slam now on but explosive cast once again missed out. This is 2 in a row. Because a while ago, the explosive cast was mistimed onto the Ziggs and got missed as well. KG now being the target here. Grand Challenge already used. Has to use up the flash as well to be able to proc up the Grand Challenge. Will not be able to do so, but still is.
Still very slippery for sure. Now I kind of want to know if... Okay, alright. Well, this Dragon Dance is still going to happen here in Infinity. Whoever wins this fight will most likely dictate the tempo advantage. And Ron
has sight on Android 9. Daw just secures the kill. That won't be the numbers advantage here. But KT.RY and the Ton is in danger. KBG still has the HP advantage, but Dragon is down low already, and KBG will secure it.
This is the power of KBG. The reigning and defending champion did not falter. Even without their mid laner, they still went for their goal, and that is to secure the Dragon. Give credit to Yu. He marked down the jungler of the opponent, and Daw was not even able to reach
damage. So I think in that regard, that just makes him such a proficient mid laner.
Every single timeout that Syndra gets picked, it's mostly because you have a very reliable wave clear, but two, if you ever get yourself in the perfect position to isolate a target, you can 100-0 anyone. That's the power of the Syndra, right? Like that's the burst potential that is brought with this champion that is not present with the other options that you did mention, right? Like the Lux. Lux is more of like, I'm going to... Lux is a champion that has, I would say, identity crisis, right?
Absolutely.
You have a prismatic barrier, right? You have a shield, and you have damage, and you have CC. But with Syndra, it's all about offensive firepower, and that mainly is the reason why KBG is relying on its burst potential to really drill down not just the Aatrox, but all the other members of KT.RY as well.
Yeah, and it's just really good thus far. But right now, KT.RY is buying time, is being able to get those push. And the thing is, this is where they start to ramp up. The ton will meet Gretel into the fight. Yu goes into the backside, has to force out the flash for the side of KT.RY to go out into safety, but good hook shot for the stun, securing that kill.
That's the third death of Gretel. And you look at KG by himself, already getting the second tower in the bottom lane. They need to send someone.
KG is just getting a free inhib turret into the bot side. Now KBG starting a Baron while taking an inhib turret. It's just so good. It's a win-win situation for KBG.
And Yu will stand guard here. Daw trying to at least find the angle, but no can do. No ID, no entry. KBG gets the Baron and also gets the tower in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's really good because the thing is, even if KBG lost their Fiora, it doesn't matter. That is their bait. They already got the inhib turret already into the bottom side of the map. Andra 9 unleash power! Deny by stasis, but Andra 9 is just waiting on the horizon, securing the kill.
Back it up. KBG is still very unstoppable in their composition right now. With the power of this Baron, can just push down more towers to the delight of their fans. KT.RY struggling heavily to defend this tower in the mid lane, and rightfully so. This Baron empowered minion is just a problem to deal with.
It is a headache right now for KT.RY, especially how they want to play it. More of a delayed game against KBG. It's not going to happen anytime soon, especially how KBG is now having to only focus on mid lane and top side just because of Fiora getting that push on inhib turret in the bottom lane, and Luna is already down low.
Shama will also be receiving some good damage from Luna, but again, those damage, it's easily just being countered by damage onto the primary objectives, which is the towers. KBG does not want to play the champion hurting style. They kind of just want to push down the towers and end this as soon as possible.
Yeah, super minions are already knocking onto the Nexus door, but KT.RY successful into pushing KBG back. But this is still such a huge problem. Inhib turret already down in bot side. 2 turrets left for KT.RY, mid lane and top side.
And the gap has just widened to a point of no return. 8.2k gap is the largest gap that we've seen so far with KBG at the helm. For KT.RY, the only positive thing that I can think of is that they still have the Ziggs, which is one of the best defensive champions. But now KBG is in the position to threaten a soul, an Ice Dragon Soul, which will automatically improve their winning chances to maybe 200%, because right now, like, it's close to insurmountable right now, Infinity.
Yeah, it's pretty much like 95% chance for KBG into taking this game, but having that soul will really just complement their winning conditions here. Explosive cast will not be successful into isolating their jungler for KT.RY. But looking into the backside, you have Lucian going in with 2 ultimates, almost removing the HP bars. But top side of the map, this won't be the Fiora, this will be KG, who's looking for another inhib turret. That will be successful. And right now, KT.RY will lose 0, will lose their support.
And that's it. That's it. This has been the most fundamental approach I have seen KBG play a game, at least in recent times, and they made easy work of KT.RY now going for the GG push.
And the defending champions is not holding back their punches. The Nexus is already open, and KT.RY will fall to their knees as KBG secures their second win for day one.
Still the unstoppable team that we've known them for, now back into their peak form and also being granted of restroom breaks. KBG is just so unstoppable. I'm not 100% sure I'm a fan of